want to talk to you about some of the really silly, somewhat embarrassing things I did when I initially started my dietitian private practice that I hope you don't get in the trap of as well. My name is Shena, and I have owned and operated my private practice for the past decade. And if you're serious about getting started with your private practice, definitely click that subscribe button. I drop new episodes every Wednesday on everything from billing to marketing your practice. Definitely click that subscribe button. So some silly things that I did when I first started my private practice that seemed really logical. The first one is that I tried to partner with my sister. I don't know what this was, maybe a little bit of imposter syndrome, maybe just not feeling adequate enough without an extra person there, having the desire to have a person to bounce ideas off of. Okay, the reason why this particularly made no sense is my sister is not a dietitian. She is not in business at all. In fact, I think she was working in like a plastic surgeon's office at the time. I didn't have any tasks for her to complete. Like, I was just like, oh, come on board. You'll be like, the CEO or something like that. Just gave her a position in this company that made absolutely no sense. Me and my sister also take it way, way back. When I was 22, I actually opened a business with my sister. It was a high fashion clothing store. So that was actually my first business, which was her idea. I was like, oh, we've just always been business partners. By the way, that business failed pretty quickly. And also it made no sense for me to be in that business because I didn't have any business experience either. And also I was not even interested in the business that she was starting. Like, I don't care about clothes, you guys, like at all. A lot from that business, by the way. But I think that's where I got this brilliant idea to bring my younger sister along for the ride in this with no investment on her part. It might not be your sister. I do see this trend to want to kind of have some support to lean on in the business a lot. So people wanting to start practices 50-50 with other dietitians just so they don't have to go it alone, or hire their cousin to work at the front desk because their cousin said that they need a job, etc. So we're just trying to kind of place people in our business that don't really fit and probably are going to just end up costing us a lot of time, energy, and money. A lot of people think that way when they start private practices. They're nervous, they're scared, they have imposter syndrome. The second thing that I did when I started my dietitian practice was I did a lot of weird things with like logos and business cards. Like, I had this really big urge to like have the perfect logo and spent weeks and weeks trying to get the logo that was going to match my personality and match my brand. Worst of all, appeal to everyone. So as you grow in business, if it appeals to everyone, it appeals to no one. I thought about the perfect colors for hours on end. I tried to research how to create the perfect graphic on my own, or how much it would cost to hire the logo creator. I then also really got obsessed with business cards. What should be on them? Where's the colors? I also made square business cards because I wanted to be the unique dietitian that everybody was going to remember for my square business cards. And then I got a rude awakening when I handed one to my father. He immediately said, "This square business card doesn't fit in a wallet." So not only did I not appeal to my audience, a good probability that they were just gonna chuck this material that I just worked so hard on because it doesn't even fit in their wallet because I am trying to be so creative. Funny little thing on that, creating the business cards and the logos. I actually don't have a business card or a logo at this point, you guys. I think I like have some little thing I use once in a while when I remember attach it to something. As far as a logo goes, I created on Canva. I don't really like it, but honestly, I don't really care because never in my life has anybody said, "What? I remember you because I saw your logo." People don't really care. Like, yeah, there's certain things that maybe if you're branding digital downloads or something online, maybe it's useful. But for what I'm doing, one-to-one dietitian counseling, marketing to doctors' offices, doing social media, networking to patients, things like that, no one probably notices or cares about your logo. And it can really get you stuck because you're like, oh my gosh, I need a logo before I can do a business card, or I need a logo before I can do my website, etc. These are all things that are just going to keep you stuck. And by the way, I also think business cards are really silly. I think both the physical business cards are really silly, and also the little things that you can tap your phone on to do a digital card now. Just like, why? Like, why are we handing these to people? I kind of use my website as my business card, so I'll drop links to my website, or I'll actually hand somebody like a postcard or something like that with a little bit more information as to how I can solve their problem. A business card that just says my information, the name of my business, it's like, oh, this is nice, I like your colors, and also tossing it in the trash, or it ends up like in their kitchen mess drawer or something like that, where they're never actually going to be able to access it when they need it. A much better way to reach that audience is going to be to position yourself as being the person that can solve their problem and make yourself accessible, easy to contact in a way that they're actually remembering you for what you actually offer. So I don't do business cards. I guess I don't really do logos either. The logo thing, I just honestly haven't gotten around to. But yeah, don't let those things get you stuck. Another thing that I am kind of embarrassed about that I did when I first started my private practice is I really tried to serve everyone. And what I mean by this is I actually thought I had to have like a really cool designed program for like every single population. So at one point I actually like pulled out a notebook. I'm really embarrassed to say this now, you guys. And I was like, oh, I need to serve kids. So let's just put on like this elementary like little cooking show or cooking fair, and we'll make all of these like little smoothies and salsa, etc., etc. Okay, you guys, I don't even like children. Like like, I don't say that in a mean way, but like I'm not the kid person. Like, that's not my clientele. They don't connect with me. I don't connect with them. I don't know what to do with them. So why am I trying to have them make smoothies? It makes absolutely no sense. Instead of reversing that and saying, hey, which population do I connect with really well, which happens to be teenagers, and really fine tuning the things that I can offer and market to that population to help connect with them. And we're both enjoying the experience of working together. So don't try to have that kitchen sink syndrome where we're doing everything. I think I got a little bit of this mentality from actually being in dietitian school, dietitian program, where it's like, we don't want to discriminate against anyone. That's unethical. If you treat diabetes, you better know how to treat a young child, a geriatric person with diabetes, and a senior, because you do not want to discriminate against anyone that could be supported by your services treating diabetes. And I just say there is a dietitian out there for everyone. You don't have to be that dietitian for everyone if that population is not who you connect with the most. And please don't. You will come off unauthentic. You will waste a lot of your time trying to create stuff that doesn't really resonate with anyone. Programs, workbooks, educational materials. Oh yeah, I went down that road hardcore when I first started my dietitian practice, and I was like, I need to have a pamphlet to hand to everyone that walks in my office, which of course people usually just crumple up on their kitchen counter and save for a rainy day that never comes. Most of us that are seasoned providers know this, and becomes totally irrelevant anyways. So I have so much content that I've never even used. And that's another mistake that I made, is I tried to create all my own content, reinvent the wheel, versus just going and buying it off a platform. like RDR2RD or a dietitian's website that also specializes in this and sells digital products. Like, save yourself time. Your time is very, very valuable, you guys. You're probably charging, if you're in dietitian practice, anywhere from 150 plus an hour. So why would you spend several hours, probably $500 worth of your time if someone were to pay you for your services, creating something that's probably pretty mediocre? So versus going online and buying it for 10, 20 bucks. Doesn't make any sense to me, but so many dietitians are trying to save the dollars when they start the practice, and they're trying to save dollars so much that they are wasting their potential for earning dollars. So that's another one of those things that are a little bit embarrassing for me. The big one of the first things that I did when I started my dietitian private practice is, I remember somebody called my phone, got my number from the Chamber of Commerce, and sold me this really great ad on a TV screen at the grocery store. And there's all these great perks, because when people are shopping at the grocery store, they're thinking about food, and as they walk out the door, they could see you. So I had created this really generic, I'm a dietitian and you're eating food, so come talk to me type of ad that they sold me. And I think it was like $4,000. And I convinced myself that it was a great idea because everyone eats food. Yeah, if you're trying to sell to everyone that eats food, I can pretty much promise you that no one that eats food is going to think that you're going to be solving a specific problem that they have with food. So lo and behold, I did not get one single phone call for my $4,000 ad. I say it now as kind of some entertainment, but it was the biggest waste of time and money that I think I ever spent in my dietitian private practice. Last kind of embarrassing thing that I did when I started my private practice was little things that I often see touted as things to do to promote your business as you start your practice. So they were things like lunch and learns. Let's bring the doctors some lunch or coffee, health fairs, gyms. Let's go to the fair and have a booth, etc. They seem like really good things to do because you're getting exposure and you're the expert sitting at that table. They very rarely produce a return. And even when they do produce a return, it's usually kind of a one and done patient that is maybe interested in a session and not too sure. And the reason why is usually these are not targeted audiences. So we're going and spending all this time at like a health fair or a gym teaching a class or something along those lines. And these people are just kind of ambiguous. They're like, yeah, I eat food and this could like be kind of cool, but like I don't really know what problem I need solved, and I don't really know who you are, but thanks for the free smoothie, right? So they are not super effective. I will say this, with a caveat, this can be an effective tool at like a doctor's office sometimes if that facility has specific patients that would be within your niche and you continue to follow up. That's another reason that these things don't seem to be super effective, is it's really hard to follow up. On average, it takes between 7 and 13 touch points, you guys, with a patient before that patient's actually going to pick up that phone or get online and book an appointment with you. And if you're thinking about a doctor's referral, same thing. Sometimes we need to reach out to that doctor as many as 7 times before they're like, oh, yeah, I remember this girl. I've got some patients that might be able to benefit from their services. And that doesn't mean that we're doing anything wrong, actually, you guys. That actually just means we're not that memorable, and rightfully so, because other people have things going on with their lives, especially providers, and you're probably not at the top of their mind, especially if you're providing them with really generic information. So just remember that it's really hard to get those 7 to 13 touch points with an individual that's coming up and like grabbing a flyer off your table at a health fair. And so that's honestly, you guys, why I just don't waste my time and money with things like that. You will fall prey to some of these things. When you start your practice, your mind will be going on a hamster wheel and you're going to go down some roads trying to build those dollars in the fastest way possible. And that's okay. It's part of the learning process, but just really kind of dial in as much as you can to prevent some of these silly things from happening right up front, and you'll save yourself a lot of time, resources, and money. I hope that you found this video helpful. If so, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with a friend.